Good evening, everyone. Amy, 100 plus abandoned dogs of Everglades, Florida. So I wanted to update everybody on SASSY. I'm going to wait for a few more people to jump on because I don't want to keep repeating and continuing to repeat myself. Totally exhausted. What I was hoping to be such a beautiful Christmas, and it was, but had to rush out with SASSY. Hi, Patty. Hi, Patty. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hi, Janice. Hello, Debbie. Got this face staring at me. He's keeping me company. He knows I'm sad. Hey, hi, Woo-Woo. Hey, hi, Woo-Woo. So instead of writing and just keep answering, I know there's a lot of questions. Trust me, I have a lot of questions as well. You know, we invest ourselves and we save these lives, and we get so attached so quickly because we spend every waking hour taking care of them. And when something doesn't go right, it's gut-wrenching. It's so sad. And I am so worried about little Sassy. It's not a happy video. She's still with us. But I'm not happy, so I'm sorry if I'm not uppity and cheery on Christmas. I've been all day, but things happen. And this is our emotional roller coaster and rescue. And as I say to you all the time, we are transparent and we bring you along for this ride, this roller coaster ride. And it is just exhausting. It sucks everything out of you. I've been in such worry all day. I didn't want to even talk to Shelly and tell her and ruin her Christmas, but she reached out to me, and she's beside herself. Keith's beside himself, Carol, and I know everybody here that's following is worried about Sassy. So let me just kind of recap on what happened. We rescued Sassy. She is a older Yorkie. I don't know, 8, 9, 10. Really don't know exactly how old she is, but we rescued her from the Palm Beach shelter. We picked her up, we brought her back to the house, and she was fine. She was coughing, sneezing, like every dog does when they come out of the shelter. The majority of the dogs, if they're not already coughing, they start to cough, and then it runs rampant through the house. So, you know, we started her immediately on antibiotics, doxycycline, which is the medication, the antibiotic. The rule of thumb is to start on doxy, and then we just didn't like the way she was sounding, so we took her to a 24-hour animal hospital. First, we took her to Access, which is where she is now. We took her there the first time, and they said that they were completely slammed. They could not see her for hours and hours, and they sent us to the other 24-hour animal hospital, which is North Lake up here. Sorry, I'm hot, in Palm Beach. So we did that. That was our very first time going to North Lake, and you know, it has a good reputation. I'm not saying anything negative, but we took her there. They did radiographs. They checked her over, and the doctor said it's nothing but, you know, a severe case of kennel cough. And he wanted to add, on top of the doxy, he wanted to add another antibiotic, which he did, and also hydro to settle her. Hydro is another drug. So she was on 3 drugs, doxy, clindamycin, I think it was. I have to look at the bottle, and hydro. And nothing was getting any better. I was hoping, I kept saying to Shelly and Keith, you know, do you see any difference? They're like, well, she's eating today. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it just has to take its course. And she would walk around a little bit in the yard, and she would eat a little bit, and she would do her business, you know, and then just be in bed and lay down. Sneeze, cough, but not any trouble breathing or gasping for air. Well, late yesterday, last night actually, I noticed she was having a harder time breathing, and I'm thinking, well, maybe she just needs her medication. So I gave her medication, her hydro, and she settled down some, and she stopped with the gasping. And then this morning, I was here very, very early, and she was okay. And then I noticed it was getting worse and worse and worse, and I was like, you know what? I don't like this. She can't breathe. I mean, she would just lay there, and it was labored breathing, and it was constant. It was like a, constant. I noticed a little bit of schnuggles coming out of her nose, some spray when she would sneeze. So I called Access. They said, bring her over. I jumped in the car when I told you, and I went live from the hospital, brought her in, and they said that they were going to admit her and get her comfortable, do radiographs, repeat, because they never did radiographs there, do radiographs. So that's what they did. Then I got a text message while I was running around taking care of all the other babies. I got a text message to call Access. So I called, and the doctor said, the radiographs were sent out to a radiologist who reads radiographs. And the radiologist said that he was pretty sure and confident that there is some sort of an obstruction in her airway, in her lung. I don't know what it is, because she was coughing from the second we picked her up from the shelter. I don't know what this possible obstruction is in her airway or in her lung. So they said that they thought it was in a place where they could go in with a scope and possibly, hopefully, grab it and pull it out. He said, but I just want to be clear with you that there's a chance that it could push it deeper, and then we would have to go in and cut her open and operate and remove the airway and a piece of her lung lobe. And, there's a chance it could cause her to go into cardiac arrest, and she could not make it. And I'm like, oh my God. I went from kennel cough to now a possible airway obstruction to a scope to possibly not making it off the table. So forgive me, but my head is spinning. I'm very comfortable with the doctors that we have used all these years. Like Dr. Cannon is our #1 go-to person with the scope. She has scoped Albert a billion times. She's like magical with that scope. I don't know this doctor. I'm not saying that she's not phenomenal, but it's different. It's scary. So you're entrusting. I mean, what are you going to do? It's when people go to the hospital. I mean, you pray to God you're in the right hands. You don't know. So that's where I am right now. So that was the plan. The first estimate, I shared everything with you. I've got the donate button on here because I'm way away from what I've already paid close to $6,000. $6,000. Okay. And I know you're probably like, who gives a shit about the money? Who cares? All we care about is SASSY. All I care about is SASSY. But I have to let you know that I had to give them $6,000 to go in and to try to scope. That was like, the bills are there. One was $3,200, then the other one was 20 something, 2,000 and change. It's close to $6,000. And that is if we don't have to go to surgery. I don't even know what's happening. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this out with a scope. I asked them, when they were going in, and he said right away. The doctor's coming in to do the scope with her private nurse. They did blood work. They're going right in. That was over an hour ago. I haven't heard anything from them. I'm a complete wreck. I don't know what's happening. I'm just asking everybody, please, to say a prayer for her, because I'm going to lose my shit if something happens and she doesn't make it. I don't even want to think like this. I don't even want to think like this. It can't happen. It can't. Guys, we love this baby so much. So much. She's just amazing. She's the sweetest little angel. She doesn't deserve this. She does not deserve this. We're going to do everything in our power to save her little life. I mean, emergency hospitals are ridiculous. The pricing it's insane. It's insane. The average person cannot. And, the only reason why we can afford to keep doing this is because we're a rescue and we have a great support system. But the average person does not have this kind of money laying around. And a lot of dogs and cats and animals are euthanized because they can't afford to treat their family. Can you imagine not being able to treat your dog or your cat if it was a life-threatening and you needed surgery and you didn't have the funds? What would you do? And you didn't have credit and you couldn't get approved for care credit and you had no family to help you. It's very, very frightening, and it's sad to me, you know, because so many people walk into a hospital and their dog is dying and they're at the hospital's mercy and they don't have the money. They don't have it, and their dogs don't get a chance. So that's why I say, for any rescue that is in the place that is rescuing, you know, you think you're getting a healthy little dog from a shelter. Look, she was a little Yorkie. She looked adorable. And I said, you know what? I'm pulling her. Whatever. Her picture was shitty. She looked pretty rough. When we got there, if you remember the video, when they handed her to me, I went, oh my God, she's adorable. She's amazing. Nothing what I expected. And I have a lot of interest in her. A lot of people are inquiring about her. Thank God I didn't send her home. Thank God I didn't send her home with anybody. Could you imagine sending her home and then this happening in an adopter's home? Oh my God. So God works in his mysterious ways, and everything, I guess, happens the way it's supposed to. So right now, I'm asking everybody to please make a donation, because I have a $6,000 bill that I need to cover. And I am praying to God that she can make it through this whatever it is that they have to do to her. I know I'm rambling, but I've got a million things going on in my head right now. And I can tell you that, you know, the scope is first. If they can get it with the scope, phenomenal. I don't know what it is. And then if they can't, then they're going to have to go in and cut her open and try to get it out that way. We have to try. We can't leave her suffering. There's no other option. I don't know if I told you, correct me, because there's so much in my head. When the doctor called me the first time and told me that there was a possible obstruction, I don't think I told you this. He called me back a second time and said they did a repeat of the radiographs, and it appeared that the possible obstruction has moved down, and it's not good. It makes it harder to grab. So they were going in immediately. No, because I was like, well, when are you doing this? And he's like, well, she's coming in right now. So that was over an hour ago, and I hope to God she's on the table, and I hope to God they're able to get this possible obstruction from her. I don't know where it is, somewhere down in her beginning of her lung lobe. I don't know which lung, but I did ask him to please get the x-rays from the other 24-hour animal hospital that we had gone to first, because they took x-rays and they told us that it was nothing but a clear case of bad kennel cough and gave us antibiotics and hydro. I want this doctor to see the x-rays, the first set from the first hospital, to let me know if there was an obstruction and they missed it, because that's a problem. That's a big problem. Guys, all I can say is I'm a mess. We're all a mess. And I'm asking, please, to pray and for your love and prayers for Sassy. She does not deserve this. She has a beautiful life ahead of her. Please, dear God. And please find it in your hearts to make a contribution, any amount, to help me out here with Sassy, so we can do whatever she needs to save her little life. She's worth it. We promised her this. We put our hands on her, like I've told you a million times. When we touch a dog and we look in their eyes and we make them a promise, we keep our promise. So please, please, please donate. Please help me cover this astronomical $6,000 vet bill to save Sassy's life. And as soon as I get word from the 24-hour animal hospital access, I promise you I will jump on and I will go live again. Please keep our Sassy in your prayers. This is Amy with 100 Plus Abandoned Dogs of Everglades, Florida, and thank you.